How I lost $2.8 million and rebuilt my life from bankruptcy. In the mid-1980s, I had everything. A booming technology company, explosive sales growth, a product that customers loved. My computers were selling so fast that profits were reaching 300% margins, and every year sales were growing by over 400%. At the time, I believed I had achieved the dream. But what I didn't know was that behind the scenes, the person I trusted the most in my business was secretly destroying everything. By the time I discovered the truth, it was already too late. My company was gone. My reputation was in danger, and I was left with $2.8 million in debt. Today, I want to tell you the story of how I lost everything and how it took me 10 years to rebuild my life. And if you stay until the end, I'll share the lessons that completely changed the way I build businesses today. And if you enjoy stories about entrepreneurship, money, and financial resilience, don't forget to subscribe to Mindful Minds and Money, because sometimes the greatest lessons come from our biggest failures. Part 1. The beginning of the personal computer revolution. To understand this story, we need to go back to the mid-1980s. This was the beginning of the personal computer revolution. Companies like IBM were dominating the industry. Computers were expensive, powerful, and still mysterious to most people. At that time, I had just graduated from university as a computer science engineer. My first job was with IBM, where I worked designing software for the IBM System 36, one of the most important business computers of that era. It was a great opportunity, a stable job, a respected company, but inside, something didn't feel right. I realized something very important about myself. I didn't want to spend my life working for someone else. I wanted to build something of my own. Part 2. The bold decision that changed my life. So I made a decision that many people around me thought was crazy. I left IBM. I decided to create my own computer company. Now remember, this was the 1980s. There were no startup incubators, no YouTube tutorials, no online business guides. Everything you learned came through trial and error. But I had an idea, a very powerful idea. If I could import computer parts directly from Asia, assemble them in Europe, and sell them under my own brand, I could offer powerful computers for a fraction of the price of the big brands. It was risky, but it was an opportunity. Part 3. The trip that started everything. So I did something bold. I flew to Taiwan. At that time, Taiwan was becoming a global center for computer hardware manufacturing. Factories were producing components for the entire world. There, I negotiated a contract with a hardware company. They would supply the parts, I would import them into Europe, assemble the machines under my own brand, and sell them as complete computers. This model was revolutionary for its time. Today, we call it system integration. But back then, it was still a new idea. Part 4. Building the business. When I returned to Europe, I started building the company. I registered a brand name for my computers. But here is where I made one of my biggest mistakes. I didn't fully understand how to structure a business legally. Instead of building a proper corporate structure, I was operating essentially as a sole trader. At the time, I didn't think much about it. I was focused on building products, selling machines, growing the company, and for the operational side of the business, I hired someone I trusted, a friend, an engineer, someone I believed would help me build the company. He was responsible for warehouse operations and payments, while I traveled constantly promoting the brand and selling the products. Part 5. The explosion of success. For the first 5 years, the business was incredible. Demand was exploding. Customers loved the machines. They were reliable, high quality, and significantly cheaper than the big brands. My after-sales service became one of the biggest reasons customers trusted us. Word spread quickly, and soon the company was growing faster than I could imagine. Profit margins reached 300%. Sales were increasing over 420% per year. Every entrepreneur dreams of growth like that. Everything looked perfect, but success can sometimes hide danger. Part 6. The hidden disaster. While I was on the road expanding the business, something terrible was happening behind the scenes. The person I trusted to manage the warehouse and payments had developed a gambling addiction, and slowly, quietly, he started taking money from the company. At first, small amounts, then larger ones. Because I trusted him, I had gradually given him access to the accounts, authority to pay suppliers, authority to move money for operational needs. At the time, it seemed logical. We were growing fast. I needed someone managing operations while I focused on expansion. But trust without controls can become dangerous. Part 7. The moment I realized something was wrong. Eventually, I started noticing strange signs. Payments that didn't make sense. Numbers that didn't match. Cash flow problems that shouldn't exist in a profitable company. At first, I thought it was just accounting confusion. But as I looked deeper, the truth began to appear. Money was missing. A lot of money. By the time I understood what was happening, the damage was catastrophic. Part 8. The collapse. When everything was finally calculated, the reality hit like a bomb. The company was $2.8 million in debt. $2.8 million. For a young entrepreneur in the 1980s, that number felt impossible. The business collapsed. The brand disappeared. Everything I had built was gone. And because I had structured the business poorly, the debt fell on me personally. I had lost my company, and now I faced a mountain of debt. Part 9. The emotional reality of failure. People often talk about business failure as if it's just numbers. But the truth is, failure is emotional. You question yourself. You question your decisions. You replay every moment wondering what you could have done differently. For a period of time, it feels like your entire life has collapsed. But failure also forces you to grow. And slowly, I began to understand something. This was not the end of my story. Part 10. The 10-year recovery. Recovering from that disaster did not happen overnight. It took 10 years. 10 years of rebuilding. 10 years of learning, 10 years of working harder and smarter. But during that time, something important happened. I became a different kind of entrepreneur. I learned about business structures, risk management, financial controls, trust, and verification. The lessons were painful, but they were priceless. Part 11. The new businesses. After that experience, I began building new businesses, this time with stronger foundations, better systems, better protection. Over time, these businesses became successful, very successful, and today my investments span multiple industries: farming, artificial intelligence, manufacturing, mining, transport, and several other sectors. The failure that once seemed like the end of my life actually became the foundation for everything that followed. Part 12. The lessons every entrepreneur must know. Looking back today, the lessons are very clear. Lesson 1. Trust people, but always verify systems. Lesson 2. Never give financial control without oversight. Lesson 3. Structure your business properly from the beginning. Lesson 4. Success can hide problems if you are not paying attention. And Lesson 5. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is often the path to success. If you are going through a difficult moment right now, maybe a business failure, maybe financial stress, remember this: losing everything does not mean your story is over. Sometimes it is just the moment where your real story begins. If you enjoyed this video and want more real stories about business, money, and entrepreneurship, subscribe to Mindful Minds and Money. Because on this channel, we talk about the real journey behind financial success. And sometimes, that journey begins with failure. Stay awake, stay aware. I'm Felix from Mindful Minds and Money. See you next time.